Hey everyone, I just wanted to drop a quick little no edits video because I've been trying to kind of par down my point shoe preparation bag. It was just getting stuffed so full. So I think I've got it pared down to these things, and I just wanted to kind of walk through it with you guys. So actually, some members of my family have really got into minimalism lately. So this last week, it's me and my two sisters. We've both been packing up clothes and kitchen stuff, like just really getting into this, hey, what can I get rid of? What have I not touched for several months or a year? And that I'm like, what can I get rid of? And it's kind of transferred to other parts of my life as well. And I thought I would share with you, because I have been doing so much ballet stuff on this channel lately, my point shoe preparation thing. So let's just kind of talk through the little sections. Very obviously, I probably don't need two pairs of scissors, so I might get rid of one of those. The pair with the green on them are really sharp. They have very sharp points, which seemed really useful, but I have poked myself with those points a couple of times. So I might actually end up keeping the dark blue pair, just because I'm kind of clumsy with my fingers. I was out camping a little while ago, and I got this little cut right here, and it's really small, but it was really, really deep. And then this cut right there, my cat was trying to jump the fence, so I went and grabbed her, and she wasn't trying to scratch me. She just, you know, in both of our excitement. Okay, so first, let's start with like preparation items. So first of all, I have a seam ripper, because as you can see from the ends on these, I often cannibalize or reuse elastic. And lately I've been doing 4 elastics crisscrossed, so each shoe gets 2 elastics. These elastics were pulled off of a pair of shoes where I just did one, and you can tell these have been on a couple pairs of shoes because they're different colors. So I have these, maybe should be next to each other. These are 2 sets of 4. So this would do a pair of shoes, this would do a pair of shoes. I'm not sure how to use these because if I cut them in half, they'll probably be too short. So I might not end up using those at all. Lighters for doing the end of your ribbons. And I was getting all this extra ribbon from shoes where I wasn't putting ribbons on, but they were coming with ribbons. And I'm finally down to where I have a single pair of ribbons and a single pair of point shoes, because Russian points don't come with ribbons or elastic. And I've been buying Sodanza, and those do come with ribbons and elastic. And if I wasn't always using the ribbon, then I always had extra ribbon, but I've been putting it on lately. So there are those lighters to do your ends. This is mostly for when I do wear Russian points. They kind of have this, it's not all Russian points, but this particular make does. See how they're kind of bowed, like they're a little bit fat in the sole? You can especially see it in the heel, how there's a lump there. And I'm not sure why, if it's supposed to be for comfort, like a little bit of extra something in the heel for standing around in long rehearsals. For me, it just makes me fall over. So I will shave the fat part off. So this is a little bit more flat, kind of like a Morella point shoe. Those are very, very flat on the bottom. So I'll do that. And then when I darn the edges, I'll use the razor to cut the satin along here. And then I have just been darning with the same thing I sew with, the floss, but I have to get the unwaxed. But I bought this wool, and I don't know, I just got this really cheap somewhere, and I thought I would try it, but I don't think this is going to be thick enough. I think this needed to be something a lot thicker, more like a darning string. And this said darning wool, but because it's wool, it's just so light. So I will maybe try it on these and let you know how it goes. Or I might try it on a different pair of shoes and see how it goes. But anyway, so there's that, just around the edge there for a little bit more of a platform and to clean up the edge. Okay, I sew with floss. I just go get floss. I don't think I paid attention. Unflavored. I have done it with mint flavored floss, and your fingers just smell good after. I need to pay attention better and see if I can get unwaxed and if it makes a difference. And then what I do is I actually just tuck the needles down in there. So I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I've got needles down inside. And then that needle is threaded, so it's just kind of tucked in. Oh, and I have the ends wrapped around. I can't do it with one hand, and I'm filming. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you can see how I had that wrapped around and then the end tucked back in. Jet glue, just like a million dancers use all over the world. I have found in my So Dancer shoes that they will start to break right here, and my foot kind of naturally does that ugly claw thing. I have to really work against it and think about it to keep that from happening, but the shoe will just break right there. So I have started using jet glue starting here where I want the arch of the shoe, and then doing like a big square here. And it makes them really slippery on a surface like this. This is the floor I'm dancing on right now because of quarantine stuff. It's very hard, but I do have a nice piece of marley. And when I worry about how hard the floor is for jumps or something, I'll tuck a yoga mat under the marley, so it's okay. But anyway, doing the glue right here, it helps stiffen this up and reinforce this. Or sometimes I'll just put it along the sides, inside and outside, but it makes this surface really slippery on a surface that's already really slippery. So just be aware of that if you decide to try that, and then you go walking in your pointe shoes like on a tiled or parquet floor outside of your dance studio. Just be careful of that. Oh, this glue was really weird. So I couldn't find jet glue, so I went to the craft store and I got this stuff, and this is kind of weird. It doesn't come out super liquidy like the jet glue does. It comes out in a goo, kind of like if you've ever used shoe goo. It's not quite that gooey, but you can kind of see how slowly, maybe you can see the level in there. It's not sloshing around like water. It's kind of moving. It's a little, has a higher viscosity, I think is how you would say. Or maybe a lower viscosity. I don't know. It's more gooey. So you kind of have to spread it around. Like if you put it in the toe to reinforce the toe, I had to use my finger, and it was really uncomfortable because it has the same properties as the jet glue. It's really sticky and smelly, really hard on your feet. Okay, scissors, obviously for cutting floss, whether you're using the scissors to help with taking the ribbons out or just cutting your floss. And then this is just kind of the care side. Tape. I don't have my spacers. I have a little Tupperware of spacers. It's up in that cabinet. I haven't pulled it out yet. And when I take my spacers off, I pump several pumps of this one's almost empty, into the little Tupperware. And this, because my spacers are those little gelatin, what's that other stuff called? Like the little gel pads. And if they get too, I don't know, they can get sticky. And then they tear really easily. So this just kind of keeps them lubricated without being wet, and it helps mitigate all the gunk that's coming off of my feet on them. And then every once in a while, I'll just run them all through some hot soapy water. And then this is really nice for after. Don't ever put this inside your pointe shoe and then wear it. Tiger Balm. I like the red stuff better. That's a little stronger, but this is still pretty dang strong, and it's awesome. It's just really, really nice for afterward. And then toe tape for the odd blister, or sometimes to hold my spacers in place. Okay, and then like I showed you, my little bag, it's just a little pencil, like a little carry case. Okay, and then this is something weird I've been doing. So I teach ballet, so I'm always trimming little kids' shoes, and I have these little drawstrings from trimming all of their shoes or trimming my own shoes. And then the little kids come in, they say, "Teacher, I don't have a hair elastic." So I'll tie the drawstring into a little loop like this, and I've handed out so many elastics, and it doesn't make a great bun, obviously, but it's kind of like if you're going to ask your teacher to help with your bun, it's not going to be as great as if you figure out how to do it by yourself. And like these are pretty good in a pinch, or even just like my everyday braids that I wear, they're kind of nice, and they last a surprisingly long time. I've had a drawstring last longer than a hair elastic that I specifically bought for my hair. And you can see how many little girls' shoes I've trimmed. Oh, and I had a little boy wearing his black shoes, and I trimmed his shoes for him. So, bunch of those. Okay, last thing. Someone suggested this to me last summer when I was dancing at USIB. She said, when you've just had a really long day, just get some horse liniment. Well, my dad is a farmer, and he happened to have this bottle of horse liniment around. It's only about half full, but where I've been trying to push myself a little bit harder this summer, because I haven't been able to go to ballet classes, I've been giving myself class. This has really helped me adjust to doing my own work on this floor and trying to Just trying to be in my pointe shoes more. So anyway, here's some horse liniment. It's extremely strong. Like if I were to open this, you would be able to smell through the internet, through YouTube, how strong it is. So I actually have to take it outside and rub it all over my feet. It's just a super, super strong. Oh, it's the same as the Tiger Balm. What is that stuff? Like a menthol. So strong. And then I'll pull on a pair of thick, fuzzy socks, and I'll just feel my feet tingle for the next hour or so. And it feels really good, just kind of a relief. Okay, so this is my current setup for doing pointe shoes. I did a video a while ago of me sewing shoes, and it was really, really long and probably a little too detailed, but you know, if you have any tips you'd like to share with other dancers or with me for breaking in or sewing or supplies, like what do you use to darn your shoes with? What do you use to sew that you think is maybe better than floss? Have you found an alternative to the amazing, wonderful jet glue? What kind of scissors do you prefer? Do you have a favorite razor? These are my two favorite colors, so that's why I got lighters in that color. Yeah, what do you like to do? And at the very least, tell me if you like to do a single elastic from heel to heel, heel to heel, or do you like to do 4 elastics and do a crisscross across your arch? Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you later. Goodbye.